right, we're now live and recording, everyone.
We got about a minute or two and then we'll get going. So I still got about a minute and we'll get started. But it ought to be a pretty quick meeting because no one signed up to speak, very little written comments. I don't think any written comments. A lot of deferrals, so.
All right, I'm going to get you set up. I'm actually going to show you. We're all coming across here. So what I usually do to get yours set up the way you like it is I go to view options here at the top.
Okay.
And then exit full screen. It's that easy. And then you just press participants here, and that shows you the list of everybody, and there's everybody's video.
So it shows on the hands if somebody's got their hand up.
Yes. It'll show on their video, and it'll also show.
Are we on right now, Charlie?
Started right now. Chloe, you ready? I was just waiting for Chloe to get set.
I'm ready, yes. Jeremy, if you could make me host again, but otherwise we're ready to go, Charlie.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the City of Charleston Planning Commission meeting of April the 21st, 2021. I'd like to thank the commission members because we are appointed by Charleston City Council with volunteers, and I know you join me in appreciating them for their time and work on behalf of the City of Charleston. Since we're on Zoom, I'd like to just list the Planning Commission members for the record: Mr. Jimmy Bailey, Ms. Laquita Bryant Jenkins, Ms. Erica Harrison, Ms. Donna Jacobs, Ms. Angie Johnson, Ms. Sunday Lempesis, Mr. Harry Lassane, who's the Vice Chairman, Mr. Sean Flug, and my name is Charlie Carish, and I'm the Chairman. Just the way the procedure is, I'll read an item into the agenda, and then I will ask the staff to give a position, describe the agenda item, give us their position, details. Then we'll ask anyone, the applicant, to speak. Also, anyone who's in favor of the application, anyone opposed to the application. Then if anyone's opposed, we'll let the applicant respond to any concerns. Then we'll close the public hearing, and then we'll have discussion, commission members, motions, and things like that. I'd ask Mr. Morgan to do two things. For the record, list of deferrals, because I know there's a few deferrals today, as well as introduce himself and the staff, if he would.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Christopher Morgan, Planning Manager here at the City of Charleston. Also with us today is Chloe Stuber, who is helping the meeting run, and Philip Overcash may be on as well. That's pretty much it for the staff because we have so few items today, and we're ready to go when you all are.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. We're going to handle the approval of minutes at the end, if that's okay. I just figured it'd be easier that way. It's easier for me that way. Number one is rezonings, 2012 Meeting Street Road, Peninsula TMS 46616000012, approximately 0.32 acres. Preferential zoning of subject property from GB, general business classification, to LI, light industrial classification. Mr. Morgan.
Yes, we'll go to that in the meeting slides. Okay, here's an image here. This is at the upper reaches of our city limits. It is just north of Pittsburgh Avenue. It's a third of an acre site. Currently has a structure on it, a residential structure on it. It actually has Charleston County zoning is the designation here. That is an unincorporated pocket, and then North Charleston starts further up here. King Street Extension is coming in, and Meeting Street heading out of the city here. It is a request to rezone from general business to light industrial. And of course, there's light industrial to the north and light industrial to the west of the property. Here it is. It ended up not being in our current plan. I think there was a mapping error, and so it's just off the map. This is Pittsburgh Avenue right here, but it is adjacent to areas that would have been job center or industrial. So, that is making us feel comfortable with this request and knowing that we would have expanded those areas up into that portion of the city. Here is an aerial image. You can see how there is a large car storage, vehicle storage lot to the north. There is an adult establishment to the east in these buildings and this parking lot. And then there is another general business parcel to the south, and then the light industrial that is across the street to the west. Here's the image. Again, there's a residential structure on the property. Here's the vehicle storage to the west. It's definitely got an industrial type character in the area. Here is this structure on the house. And here is a look down towards Pittsburgh Avenue and Meeting Street. There's a gas station at the southern corner of Pittsburgh Avenue and Meeting Street. And then here's looking to the north, you see that vehicle storage area. And the new port access road has been built. That's the bridged area in this area here. And so our recommendation is for approval of this request.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. I think, Chloe, do we have Mr. Langdon with us, George Langdon, the applicant?
Yes, promote George to panelist now. George, if you could please share your video and audio.
Mr. Lang, you go ahead whenever you're ready. We got him, Chloe?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm new to this Zoom thing. I just had to unmute myself. So yeah, it's pretty summed up from what the conversation we just had. We're just looking to build our shop there, and kind of summed up everything that I could think of. I mean, it sounded like what we want to do is we'd like to rezone it to light industrial, and we're kind of looking at buying the property in our due diligence period right now, and just wanting to make sure it's going to work for what we'd like to do moving forward.
Thank you, sir. I'm just curious, what are y'all gonna do out there on that property? Do you mind telling us?
We have a construction company, and we're going to basically build our office there, and we also build like our own, kind of do, as part of our remodeling, we build cabinetry for the jobs that we remodel, and maybe some, millwork stuff and things like that. But basically, it'll be a shop associated with our business, cabinet shop, millwork shop, and then our office for construction.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Langdon. Chloe, I know there's no one signed up to speak, and there's no written comments. That being said, that'll close the public aspect of this. Is there any questions, comments, motions of commission members?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move for approval.
I'll second.
Mr. Hussein moves for approval. Ms. Jacobs seconds. Is any other comments? If not, we'll do a roll call vote. And I know Mr. Bailey said he'd be a little late, so I don't know if he's with us, so I'll just go through. Ms. Laquita Bryant Jenkins.
Aye, in favor.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Harrison.
Aye, in favor.
Great. Ms. Jacobs.
Aye, in favor.
Great. Ms. Johnson, if you're with
Aye,
us.
in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Lephasis.
Aye, in favor.
Thank you. Mr. Lassane.
Aye, in favor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Flug. Is Mr. Flug with us, do you know? Chloe, do you know if he's with us? Maybe he may not be with us.
He was on.
I don't see him on the list now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm in favor as well. I'm assuming Mr. Bailey, unless he speaks up, is probably not here yet. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in favor and none opposed. So that application, we approve. That motion was made by Mr. Lassane, seconded by Ms. Jacobs. I'll read just for the record, this 1780 Beavis Drive, TMS 353020068, that's deferred. Also deferred, that was under rezonings, also rezonings under Plant PUD Amendment, Shepherd Street. That number 1 is deferred. Under subdivision, Sanders Roads Crossing West Ashley, that's deferred. Mr. Morgan, you correct me if I'm wrong on any of these. So if not, we'll go to zoning. So number 1, zonings, Floyd Drive, TMS to be assigned approximately 0.22 acres. Requested a portion of the previously unzoned right-of-way be zoned to GB. Mr. Morgan.
And this, I think, was a quirk in getting the site set up. The owners of the development or somewhere along the way in the review, no one realized that this area of the street was never built and a building was planned and built on top of it. And then the apartment complex was closing out all their things to get their CO. And I think it was discovered that it was actually an unzoned area of right-of-way. So that's been cleared up and the right-of-way has been dedicated to the owners of the apartment complex. And now we just need to zone it for general business. As you can see, it's surrounded by general business. It's to the rear of the Walmart at the West Ashley Circle. And I will show you some slides that just give you a sense of where it is. Again, here's the West Ashley Circle. Here is the property here at the end of Floyd Drive coming off the circle. It's in an area that is recommended for neighborhood center. General business would be appropriate for that. You can see here's things under construction. Here's the end of Floyd Drive. And literally this building is now built and occupied on top of where this right-of-way was. So it just makes sense that we go ahead and get it the proper zoning since the building's now there. So again, general business is what's recommended, and that is our recommendation.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. I know there's no one signed us to speak on this, so questions, comments, or motions by commission members?
Chairman, I'll move for approval.
I'll
Who
second
made the
it.
motion? I'm sorry. So is that Mr. Lassane? Who moved for the approval?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
great.
second.
Mr. Lassane moves for approval. Thank you. Sunday Lempus seconds. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Bailey, and again, I don't know if he's here with us now. If not, Ms. Laquita Bryant Jenkins.
I in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Harrison.
I in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Jacobs.
I in favor.
Great. Ms. Johnson.
Aye, in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Lemphasis.
I in favor.
Great. Mr. Lassane.
Aye, in favor.
Mr. Flug.
I in favor.
Great. And I'm in favor as well, so that's 8 in favor and none opposed. Number 2 under zonings is 1908 Second Drive, St. Andrews Heights, West Ashley, TMS number 35005-00006, approximately 0.2 acres. Request zoning of single-family residential, SR2, Zone 2-Part Wapu Overlay District. Gosh, I didn't know about that one. ODDUWAP in Charleston County. Mr. Morgan.
This is a recent annexation, and it's a residential property, and most of the properties in this neighborhood we either bring in as SR1 or SR2 depending on the lot size, and since this lot's a little bit smaller, SR2 works better for it, and we're recommending approval of that. Just so you can see, this is that neighborhood, and again, it shows in our suburban designated area. Here is a picture of the subject property, and that is our recommendation.
Great, thank you, sir. And I don't think, again, anyone signed up to speak or any written comments on this. So commission members' comments or motion, please?
Motion to approve.
I will
Say
second
it
that
again. Who
motion.
made-
Laquita.
Was that Ms.? Okay, Laquita Bryant Jenkins made the motion, second by Ms. Jacobs. I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Bailey? Ms. Laquita Bryant Jenkins?
I in favor.
Okay, Ms. Harrison?
I in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Jacobs?
I in favor.
Okay, Ms. Johnson?
I in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Lymphosis?
I in favor.
Great. Mr. Lasane?
Aye, in favor.
Great. Mr. Flue?
I in favor.
Great, and I'm in favor as well, so that's 8 in favor and none opposed. Number 3 under zonings is 738 St. Andrews Boulevard, Avondale, West Ashley, TMS number 4181500081, approximately .26 acres. Request zoning of GO, General Office, Zone St. Andrews Overlay, ODSTA in Charleston County. Mr. Morgan.
And again, recent annexation here, and the request is for general office. And we've got some other general office just up St. Andrews Boulevard from the property. As you'll see in the pictures, this is a structure that has had an office in it. The SR1 is immediately adjacent to the east and also across St. Andrews Boulevard from it. But this little section has had offices all through here, and it was under the St. Andrews overlay in the Charleston County. It is in our highway designation in the current plan, so that would be in keeping with the highway designation. Here's an image of the structure that's on the property now, and you can see it has an office sign and things like that, and nicely buffered against the residential that's adjacent to it. And that is our recommendation for office, general office.
Great, thank you, sir. And I know no one signed up to speak or written comments, so commission members, motion, comments, please.
Mr.
I'll move for
Chairman,
approval.
and I will second.
Ms. Johnson moves for approval. Ms. Lasane, you second?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So Ms. Johnson moves for approval. Mr. Lasane seconds. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Bailey, Ms. Laquita Bryant,
I in favor.
Great, thank you. Ms. Harrison?
I in favor.
Thank you. Ms. Jacobs?
I in favor.
Great, Ms. Johnson? I think she might have walked off, but I know she made the motion, so I'm assuming she's in favor since she made the motion. Ms. Lymphosis?
I in favor.
Great. Mr. Lasane?
Aye, in favor.
Mr. Flue?
I in favor.
Great, and I'm in favor as well, so that'd be 8 in favor and none opposed. Number 4 under zonings is 3919 Savannah Highway, Red Top, West Ashley, TMS 285000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 205, approximately 1.3 acres. Request zoning of ZB. It was zoned community commercial in Charleston County. Mr. Morgan.
And another recent annexation in the city, and this is out at the edge of the city near James Bay Road and Savannah Highway, right near Rantels Creek. It's in an area that has a lot of commercial or semi-light industrial types of uses. As you can see, it was CC in Charleston County. There also are some light industrial type uses to the rear here, zone CC in Charleston County, and then industrial here in the county. This is an area that was in our highway designation in the current plan, so it would fit in with that. Here you see the property. It's a vacant property, but you see the metal buildings that surround it. There's another business here at the corner of James Bay Road and Savannah Highway. There is some marsh here, so they would obviously have to stay out of the marsh for their new construction. It would be up here, I would imagine, in line with where these other buildings have been built. And we are recommending for that general business in that location.
Mr. Morgan, just a question. How far does the city, do we go much further than that? I was trying to remember of annex properties that are in the city. That's pretty far out. Is there much further property?
We really don't go past Rantels and actually the urban growth boundaries out there too. So we've used that.
Okay. All right, I was just curious. I was looking at that and I said, wow, I didn't even know that far was in the city. But anyway, I appreciate it. I know no one signed up to speak or no written comments.
Charlie, just to let you know and other commissioners know, I do see that we have the owner on the call or one of the owners. So if there are any questions, Carl Smalls is on the call and I can give audio privileges.
They don't speak unless there's a question. Okay. So commission members, any questions, comments, or motion?
I'll move for approval. And I'll second.
Was that Ms. Harrison that moved it?
Yes.
Great.
That was me.
Second. Okay, great. And Ms. Brian Jenkins, did you second that?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So we'll do a roll call vote. And again, I don't know if Mr. Bailey's with us, but Mr. Bailey, Ms. Laquita Bryant Jenkins.
I in favor.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison.
In favor.
Thank you, Ms. Jacobs.
Aye in favor.
Great, Ms. Johnson. Don't know if she's with us, so we'll come back. Ms. Lemphasis? Ms. Lemphasis?
Sorry, aye in favor.
Thank you. Mr. Lassane?
Aye in favor.
Thank you. Mr. Flug?
Aye in favor.
Great, and I'm in favor as well, so that would be 7 in favor and none opposed. Why don't we go to the minutes, which I think Chloe had sent out or did a Dropbox. Is there any questions, comments, or a motion that we accept the minutes as emailed out? Any corrections, additions, or a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for approval of the minutes.
And I
Well, I
will
know if Ms. Jacobs, go ahead. Who was second, Mr. Lassane? Great. I know if Ms. Jacobs, I'm always gonna say, if she makes a motion, I know they're right, okay? So, if there's no other comments, we'll do a, roll call vote. Again, just for formality, Mr. Bailey, Ms. Laquita Bryant Jenkins.
I in favor.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison.
I in favor.
Great. Ms. Jacobs, again.
Aye in favor.
Ms. Johnson, I don't know if you're with us. If not, we understand. Ms. Lemphasis.
Aye in favor.
Great. Mr. Lassane.
aye in favor.
Great. Mr. Flug.
Aye in favor.
Great. And I'm in favor as well, so that would be 7 in favor and none opposed. I believe that completes, Mr. Morgan, you correct me if I'm wrong, our agenda for today was a pretty quick meeting, and I don't know if Mr. Morgan, if we expect a big agenda next month, or just out of curiosity?
I think we
We're gonna
will
pay
have a
for it.
pretty big agenda in May, and I did want to take a minute or so and just talk about comp plan dates and things like that we're looking at. So you have your regular meeting
Please,
on
go ahead.
you have your regular meeting on May 19th, and we expect there'll probably be a number of things on that agenda. So that will be purely just regular meeting items. What we are tentatively planning to do, and barring some debacle, we will have the draft of the comprehensive plan to you all in digital or hard copy form, whichever you like, by May 21st. That's Friday of that week. And then we would have a special meeting on the following Wednesday, the 26th, probably late afternoon to early evening, for you all to ask questions, go over the plan, go through it in detail. Not asking for a vote at that time, just letting you all kind of interact on it and ask us questions, things like that. And then have the full public hearing on Wednesday, June 2nd, where the public would be commenting, and then you all would be voting for recommendation of the plan. And hope those dates sound good to you all. I know it's before school gets out. We would then, assuming those dates are what holds, we would send it on to City Council and probably have a public hearing at City Council on June 15th. And potentially, if council, they've talked about wanting to have a joint meeting with you all before they review it. So maybe a joint meeting with City Council that first week, full week of June, the 7th through the 11th somewhere. Does that all seem doable? I know it's a number of different special meetings for you all, but it's kind of, you all have been kind of keeping up as we've gone along. And so hopefully it won't be completely new to you when you see the full document.
So, Mr. Morgan, if y'all can just email those dates out so everybody can get it on their calendar. Would that City Council meeting be in person, or would that be a Zoom meeting?
City Council appears to be headed to getting back in person, but it's in a very limited capacity because they're in council chambers and it can only hold like about 20 people and still have some degree of distancing. So I think our meetings are gonna be based on whether they go back to in person, are gonna be based on how the City Council stuff works, how the technology works and all that. If you all do have concerns about being at in-person meetings, if you would let me know, you can email me individually. If you have concerns about that, we'd very much like to know. Our staff is working to get vaccinated. I think our whole planning division staff has been vaccinated. And so we're, feeling good about things internally, but, we certainly respect y'all's decision and thoughts on that too. So we'd like to know them. But I do think it looks like City Council is headed to, at some point in May, going back to some in-person meetings, but just at City Hall. It's going to be a hybrid approach, I think, with still a Zoom going on. And I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we'll see. I know Zoom is working and I know in-person meetings work fully, but how this hybrid thing's going to go, I'm not quite sure, but we'll see.
Right. Any questions of Mr. Morgan? Any comments?
Could you just repeat those dates, please, Christopher, very quickly?
So we hope to have the plan to you all on Friday, May 21st. Have a session with you all, a kind of question and answer session and presentation session on Wednesday, May 26th. Then a full regular public hearing for just the plan on Wednesday, June 2nd. And then it would go on to City Council for their public hearing and discussion on June 15th, with the potential of a joint meeting, assuming it works on council schedules, somewhere the week of June 7th.
Thank you.
Ms. Harrison,
I
did
did
you have
have-
something?
Yeah, I did have a
Wait.
question. So you're gonna deliver us the plan. I guess we can download it from Dropbox. Would it be potentially helpful for us to, I guess, have kind of like a running live document of questions for you all to kind of be able to start addressing prior to the meeting? Like a live document, like a Google Doc or something like that?
You all can always email us individual questions, things like that. We probably should shy away from joint discussion outside of our regular meetings, but feel free to email staff with any questions you have. And then, of course, at the meeting we have on the 26th, feel free to bring up any of those questions and we'll go through those. And, if there are things that become kind of insurmountable, or if there are major changes you all want to see made, then we can hold up right there and just defer on those other meetings and get it right. We want to get it right. So, we will go with your judgment on all that.
Christopher, is there any chance that that the draft could actually be delivered to our house? My printer's not the greatest printer at home, and I could go into the office and do it, but I've really been staying out. We actually had a COVID case in my office last week, and I just as soon stay out of there for the time being.
Yeah, we would be happy to deliver. Anybody who wants it delivered, just please let us know and we will get it to you that day.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else? Any other commission members? Questions, comments? If not, I want to thank everyone for their attendance today. And Ms. Johnson, we all hope you feel better. No, we want you to feel better. We need you healthy. But if not, I guess we'll stand adjourned and thank everyone for their time. And it's only 5:27, so hopefully you have something else to do today.
Fastest meeting I've been to in 3 years.
May's going to make up for it. I'm sorry to say.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I
please.
figured there'll be payback.
Yeah.
Please.
Y'all have a good day.
Payback was last
Good
night.
evening.
Good
Thanks,
evening.
all right.
Bye.
Good night.